Hey everyone, Micha here and welcome back on the channel. In today's video, I've got some Hell Let Loose news and informations about the future of the game that were announced by the dev team in the past few weeks. And the biggest of them all is that Hell Let Loose will be released out of early access with Update 10 on 27th of July. So what will Update 10 include on the release of the game? One obvious thing that people have been talking about for months now is a new front. Eastern Front to be precise, and that will introduce us to a new faction with a few new maps. New faction that I believe everybody is excited about is Soviet Union, which comes with their unique and extraordinary weapons and armor. And who wouldn't want to try out Mosin Nagant rifle? Or Dekhtiarov machine gun? Or PTRS anti-tank rifle? And PPSH submachine gun with two different types of magazines. Also, let's not forget about Soviet tanks, which I believe it's going to be an amazing sight to see them on battlefields of Hell Let Loose. Speaking of which, two new maps have been announced so far to be released with Soviet Union in Update 10 to represent the Eastern Front. First one is the map of Kursk, which is a very open map with very little hard cover, perfectly suited for tank warfare and will encourage lots of big and long flanking maneuvers from infantry. Second Eastern Front map coming with Update 10 is the map of Stalingrad, which in my opinion is a healthy mixture of open space and urban area with lots of half-demolished buildings providing hard cover for longer and closer engagements. Unfortunately, I see one potential issue when all this new content comes out, and that is that right from the start everybody will want to try and play as Soviets and trying out their weapons, which means we might see massively outnumbered German teams and a lot of players switching teams, resulting in people leaving servers. I'm talking about this because I saw this happening in PTE sessions. I can understand that this might happen only in PTEs because they are very short and usually midweek. And by the way, those test sessions are happening now every week, so feel free to try out new content and help the devs with feedback. With all new content that is coming with Update 10, Hell Let Loose's first map that was ever made will also get its attention. If I put it more precisely, Sainte Marie Du Mont will be overhauled. The new Sainte Marie Du Mont map will be diagonally orientated, which means that some known capture points will disappear from playable area and some new will be created instead. Apart from graphical aspects, most notable difference will be that the town will be shifted from bottom left corner to bottom right corner of the map, and it will become a capture point with the church right in the middle of it. Next in the line of upgrades is that Update 10 will see the finished armor rework, which will take armor into new direction. We will see vehicle physics and environment collision improvements, vehicle availability will be adjusted along with their hitbox, and points of impact will shift depending on tank angle. Armor rework is not only about tanks, but also about anti-tank infantry. Their effectiveness will be adjusted in a way of having a hierarchy of anti-tank weapons. In Soviet's case, you will only be able to kill transport vehicles and light armor with PTRS. For heavier tanks, you would need proper anti-tank gun, which will become slightly easier to afford. PTRS will still be able to disable movement of heavier tanks. Another upgrade that is coming to Hell Let Loose is much debated performance. According to dev team, grass is going to be optimized in a way so that will improve performance and also be visible from long range, especially on Normandy maps. So it's going to allow players to actually hide in it when being prone, and we can also expect no more grass popping up out of nowhere like in the past. The actual gameplay is also going to change slightly, with some additional sounds, size and looks. All of this is referred to outposts and garrisons, and to be more precise about this, they will from Update 10 on make a certain radio sound for each faction, and this sound will give players some sense where the spawn is. Spawn points will also look a bit different, with slight shine to be added, and it will appear only when within 30 meters from placed object. The idea behind this is that sometimes it's hard to spot small objects hidden in foliage when you know that you are very close to them. The idea about size of the outposts is that in a lot of cases the outcome of the match can depend if you can place an OP in some good position or you can't due to nature and terrain of the map. So new outposts will be smaller in size and easier to place, especially in trenches, and they will be less obstructive. While OPs will look differently for each force, they will be exactly the same in size, so there won't be any disadvantages. In terms of gameplay, in my opinion, there is a lot of things that could be changed to better. Squad size, for instance. If I'm not wrong, when Hell Let Loose came out for alpha tests, squad size of 6 was created because there were no capture points like they are now. Back then, every map square was a capture point. And back then you needed lots of small squads to operate from one edge of the map to another. Nowadays, I don't think we need lots of small squads that can sometimes result in command chat chaos. Another reason is the fact that lots of players don't want the SL role and you can see leaderless squads wandering the map with no OP close to action. So I believe that increasing squad size for just one member could make a big difference in the game. Another thing, in my opinion, about decreasing number of squads is that snipers could be thrown into regular infantry squads with only 2 available sniper role slots for whole team. Once those 2 slots would be taken, sniper role would become unavailable for all other squads. Since I already mentioned command chatter chaos and that sometimes it's really difficult to tell the difference between local, squad and command chat, I think the ability to hear your squad in one ear and command in other ear to know right away who's talking would be a good feature to be added in game settings. One last thing on my mind about gameplay is duration of battles. Majority of Hell Let Loose community doesn't like the length of the offensive game mode, since it can last 2.5 hours. In truth, that really is a long time, but you only have 30 minutes to take 2 objectives and then advance further into map. If you fail at some stage, game's over and you change the map. In my opinion, a warfare game mode is far more problematic, because on one big map you can end up fighting for same capture point or even for same street or trench for hour and a half. Hour and a half repeating same stuff, and by the way, if you're grinding experience points, you have to stay in it to collect your XP at the end of the battle. So if I may suggest, cutting down time from hour and a half to 1 hour would be good. In future updates, we can expect devs to continue polishing, balancing, optimizing and adding new content to the game that will be explained in detail in the future. That new content in the future, after the update 10, will include new maps for already existing Western Front and upcoming Eastern Front. We can expect new theaters of war with new factions, including new vehicles such as jeeps and half-tracks and new weapons like trench gun and flamethrowers. Future will also give us first night map and a lot more. So feel free to leave your thoughts about the video or about Hell Let Loose content down below in the comments. Hit like, support the channel by subscribing, and don't forget that I will be giving away 1 Steam key of Hell Let Loose in the week after the release from Early Access on 27th of July. Have fun, see you soon, and thanks for watching.